Hi, hello, what's up? Yes, there was a change of scenery. Yes, I have new bookshelves. That'll all come at a later date. Today, I have a very exciting video for you because it is a book review, and I haven't done a book review in so long. The book we're going to be talking about today is, of course, Crescent City, The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god. So if you've been following along with me for the past 5 years, you'll know Sarah J. Maas is my favorite author. You'll also know she's kind of problematic and she's done some things that I'm not super excited about. I acknowledge them. However, I still love and read her books and I don't give a shit what you think. Because I've had so many people ask me, no, you don't have to read her other series in order to read Crescent City. But also, why would you not read the other series when you could read the other series, you know? This is a totally new series. It's separate from anything she's ever written before-ish. And this is an adult novel, so if you're not of age, maybe don't read it. It's kind of mature. However, all things considered, it wasn't that much more mature. It is a fantasy world that also has modern technology. Going into it, I didn't actually know the summary, so I can't really give you a great summary of it right off the bat. But we're following kind of like two main characters. Our main girl, center stage, is Bryce Quinlan, and she is wonderful. I love her so much. She's 23. She's just graduated college. She works for an antiquities dealer, and she is just kind of looking for stuff. She's looking for treasures for her boss. And she lives in this magical city called Crescent City. Crescent City is a part of a bigger empire that is run by the Republic. I can't even begin to explain it to you. There's so many types of creatures in here. Literally anything you can want. There's angels, vampires, werewolves, fae, witches, humans, half-breeds of in-between. There's literally just so many things I can't even tell you what they all are. But they're kind of segregated into different houses, and I genuinely don't know what else I can tell you about that. But that's Bryce. She is a party girl. She loves doing drugs and dancing. She really loves dancing a lot, and she has a best friend named Danica, who is a werewolf, and the two of them went to college together, and they're just living their best life. And then we also have another main character, our main guy. His name is Hunt Athalar, and he is a fallen angel. And of course I love him, obviously. Can't really reveal much more about the story because it's just very intricate and there's a lot that happens. Obviously, it's 800 pages. I'm gonna go into it more with spoilers, but really quick I wanted to give you kind of my thoughts because apparently you guys care about that. I have been waiting for Crescent City for at least 5 years. I remember when it was just a little Pinterest board. I followed that Pinterest board so hard. I wanted it. I wanted Crescent City, and now we have Crescent City, and it is stunning. I didn't think I was gonna like it very much because it's hard to do fantasy and modern technology. It's weird to think of fae people and mermaids using cell phones. I know, it doesn't really make sense. But Sarah did a great job. I was very impressed because I've read a couple other books where they've tried to mix the two and it just doesn't work. It did take a little bit of adjusting at the beginning to really get into it, but I think overall, the effect and the writing was really, really well blended. So if that's one of the things you're hung up on, I recommend you go for it because it's so fun. There were a couple things that I had problems with, but overall, the characters are just as amazing as her other characters. The plot is twisty and crazy and full of murder and a little bit of sex. I almost cried. I didn't, but I almost cried. How does it rank? A lot of people want to know where it ranks in the whole shebang of things. I would say, I'm torn. I'm trying to figure out, I think I like this better than ACOTAR 1. ACOTAR 1 is my favorite, or I guess it used to be my favorite first book in a series by Sarah. Between that and Tog, there's not a competition. I think when I finished this at 1 a.m. last night, I said that ACOTAR was below this, and I think I agree. I think this is her best first book in a series. The last third of the book is just a freaking sprint to the finish. I also just really love the romance. Always. I love the romance that Sarah does. But I really grew to love all of these characters just as much as her other books. And I cannot explain to you how much it means to me to be reading a book about a 23-year-old woman when I am turning 25. Oh my god, I almost said 24. I'm turning 25 in 2 months. So it's just a really good look at your early to mid 20s, and I love that age range because that's me. I want the content. So I'm just I felt really, really blessed that I got that. Yes, it's very confusing. I struggled at the beginning. I do want to say because I have a lot of people who care about this sort of thing. The sex content in this book was so, I mean, here's the thing. There was much fewer sex scenes than I anticipated because it's an adult novel. So that was really great. The few that we had were a lot, and I skim read all of them because I was losing my mind. But I really, really was surprised that there weren't more. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Sarah. But yeah, the romance was top notch. It just, I can't say any more without spoiling it. So if you haven't read the book, please leave. I don't want to spoil you. I'm going to be talking for a long time. It's worth it. It's worth it. I think if you like her other books, you'll definitely enjoy this one. It does take a little bit to get into, as they all do. But if you like her other stuff, you'll like this one. I think. Yeah. So, okay. Spoilers. Please leave. Bye. Okay, bye. Where do we begin? Let's start with the critiques really quick. I feel like Sarah J. Maas is a hot topic. Always, because she's kind of like the Taylor Swift of the book industry. You can complain if you want, but it's true. She is. And so everybody always comes after her and critiques her and says all these things, and I feel obligated all the time to pick her apart because I know other people are picking her apart, and I never want to be somebody that's like so biased and so blinded by love that I can't like see the toxic and problematic things in whatever book it is. So this time I was like really on edge. I was like, what are you doing? What's happening? Good news is she was very self-aware in this book, and so I think I thought she did a great job handling most things. However, the problems that I had weren't necessarily like problematic. It was more just like I was a little bit miffed that she took some easy outs that I'm not a huge fan of. Particularly, I wasn't super thrilled with that first big twist of Hunt being like in on the synth thing, like he was gonna buy the synth from the Viper Queen. It's this very cliche thing where something like that happens, you figure out that like your true love has betrayed you, and then the two of them kind of are like battling it out, and the one who betrayed is like, I'm so sorry, I love you, obviously, I just had to do this stupid thing. And the one who got betrayed is like, you did not tell me anything, you did not communicate, I trusted you, we made love together, I loved you, but you clearly don't love me because you made this one mistake. That's it, I'm gone, bye-bye. And then they don't even really have a conversation about it. Hunt just gets like captured, and Bryce is like, oh, actually, he's the only friend I have, I love him, I must go save him, I don't care. Like, I don't know, that has been done in other books, and so to see it in Sarah's book, I was like, it was a little bit of a cop-out, but I forgive you, it's fine, I wasn't super impressed. And the other thing I will say is, like, yes, there were some great plot twists, and 9 times out of 10, I'm usually super surprised by them, but I genuinely was not surprised when Bryce did the whole star thing, because it's what all of them do. Like, every single main female character that Sarah has this secret from her past. Feyre didn't really have that. Ended up, like, she got her powers a different way, so I forgive her. But, like, the concept of there's, like, this hidden power that we don't know about. And just out of nowhere, Sarah's like, didn't you know this information I've been hiding from you for 500, 600, 700 pages? And you're like, well, no. But I really thought, I was like, come on, she's related to Rune. They have the same father. She has to have some kind of star power. Like, it has to be there. So when she made the big reveal, I was like kind of shook it, but also I was like, ma'am, I guessed this about 300 pages ago, but thank you for finally catching up to this situation, you know? So I felt like there were certain parts of it that was kind of predictable and a little bit cliche, but because of the overarching story and like the writing and the characters and like whatever, like I'm able to forgive her because I love her. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go into the gushing. I love this book. I love the world, like truly the idea of fae, angels, whatever, fantastical beings taking selfies and stupid group chats with each other. Like, this is galaxy brain. She did that. I thought it was also really well done the way she explained it, because a lot of times the problem with these sort of things is like, how do you explain electricity in a fantasy world? It doesn't really, like, it's very difficult. It doesn't really make sense. You have to come up with a backstory for that whole world. And she did. Like, it was so intricate. I would love to see her notes on it. But she has this concept of first light, so that every time any of these like Vanir, immortal being kind of things make this drop into immortality, there's like a bunch of energy. And so it's kind of like Monsters Inc. except without scaring children. So like, I really appreciated that she thought about the backstory, and like, obviously she would. She's great at building worlds, but it felt like everything had like a purpose, and she was there to explain literally all the things that you could think of. It's like, how do we get messages from people to mermaids? Cute little otters. I died. It was amazing. She makes so many different comments about like magical protective spells for your phone, which is like fucking genius. Like, I love that she took modern technology, but she didn't just stop there. She was like, cool, how do I put a magical twist on the cell phone? You know, like, how do I turn something that is totally normal into something unique and mine and cool and different? And I was really here for it. I just kept picturing Feyre and Aelin and Rhys and Rowan and all the people taking selfies of each other on Snapchat. Quick sidebar, loved the character growth of the whole like taking pictures on your phone thing for Hunt. I knew she was gonna come back in the end and like show them all to us, and it was gonna be some big moment, but like when it happened I was like, I'm still thinking about that otter. So cute. I also, another thing I noticed, like I notice this all the time in her books, but the more I come to know her as an author and as a person, it's just really cool to see like her personal touch on everything. Because like obviously this book is like her brand. It's her whole brand. There's like fae, alpha holes, ballet and dance, there's romance novels, like it's her whole brand. But like to see herself putting her into her main characters, like I know she's not really a dancer as far as I know, but like ballet is super important to her and she loves going to the ballet and seeing dancing and stuff. So to have Bryce be a dancer was like really, really sweet. And then on top of that, obviously Bryce loves smutty romance novels and like all of those stupid porno TV shows that they watch. I was like, this is just like her in a book, but also like if you didn't know who she was or had not read any of her other books, you would never know that that's like her whole brand. So I was like, Sarah, I see you. I love you. You're great. Obviously, I loved the characters. I think it always takes me a second to adjust to the new set of characters because like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, but remember the inner circle? Remember Aelin's court? And so I just get very hung up on characters because she does them so well and I love all of them, genuinely. They're such good characters. So when I started this one and then she killed off most of the characters, I was very upset. I didn't know how I was going to get on. And even Bryce, it took me a while to come around to her because I was like, okay, we don't really have a lot in common. You're a party girl, whatever. You're still cool. It's fine. But by like the end of the book, truly was I was almost crying over these characters because I love them so much. Like, they're such a perfect addition to like balance out her other character squads because like I feel like she has a lot of recycled personalities. Not that that's good or bad. It just is. She recycles personalities into different characters. And that's why I love them because they're the same characters. But I felt with this set of characters, like, there were just different dynamics. Like, she has the brother-sister dynamic of Bryce and Rune, which is kind of new. Hunt is still, like, a sad bad boy. But, like, he's much more joyous. He's much more funny and a little bit more external than some of the other guys she has. He's very considerate, super sweet, kind of more like Rhys than he is like Lorcan and Rowan, love of my life. And I loved that main relationship started out more as like a friends to lovers situation. A lot of times it's like rivals to lovers, which is great. Obviously, I love that. But it was just a different angle to get to see like, oh, they became friends and then they fell in love and it was so cute. I can't talk about them yet. So I'm going to go back to Flynn and Declan, who I fell in love with. Like, I didn't care for them at the beginning, but the more you see their character develop, it very much reminded me of, like, Fenris and Gavriel, which I, like, miss them dearly. But I just love how they care about Bryce. They're like, she is a princess and you didn't tell us? Like, we want to love her. And I don't know, I love that they helped out. Oh my God, the end. That's a whole nother thing to worry about later. But, like, I don't know, it was really cool. And, like, getting to see all the different kinds of creatures, I think it was a good shift because, like, obviously it's cool to see fae. Like, we love fairies. Yes, they're wonderful. But, like, to get to switch it up and see angels and mermales, question mark? I don't know. And just, like, all these different types, like sprites and nymphs and whatever. Like, it was just really, really cool to see a little bit of that and to see the diversity. I will say, I don't know if there was as much racial diversity in the humanoids. Is that what they are? I don't know. Because I'm not good at reading descriptions, so, like, in my head, I was like, Are they all people of color? Are none of them people of color? I don't really know. So let's talk about the end. What the fuck? After the first twist when Bryce figures out that Hunt kind of betrayed her, I was like, cool. Like, that's it. That's as crazy as it's gonna get. That was like not a great plot twist, whatever. I was played. I kid you not, I was sitting in here in my room on my bed at like 10:30 and I had to control the screaming. I just kept wanting to yell into the void, and Emily is across the hall asleep. And so I was like, I gotta be quiet, I gotta figure out how to scream without screaming. And then Hugo kept coming out and yelling in the hallway, and I was like, me too, buddy. And then like, oh my god. Like, it reminded me a lot of ACOTAR and Kingdom of Ash. If they were in one book, that's what this is. Because it's like, it has the exposition of ACOTAR, and like, ACOTAR gets pretty crazy towards the end, actually. And like, you get a happy ending, and like, it's all kind of wrapped up, it felt like. And so it kind of felt like that in some ways, but like, literally, I cannot tell you how much I did not expect a Kingdom of Ash level battle scene at the end of this first book in a series. I was totally surprised. Like, I couldn't handle it. It was so much. Starting with the scene in the library when Bryce is there and Micah comes down the fucking stairs, literally from then to the end is a freaking joyride. I could not handle it. Can I sidebar? I really loved the live stream thing. Like, when Declan got on the cameras and figured out, like, he kept going between the live stream when Bryce is talking to Micah, like, that was some A+ writing there. Like, I absolutely love that she incorporated that, because it made it so much more unique than if we just had Bryce in there, or even if we went to Lehaba's perspective. Like, it was so cool to get to see, like, go back and forth. The scene in the tank was so fucking stressful. Oh, I'm having second-hand panic. Everybody's watching this live stream freaking out. They can't do anything. She is like literally almost dying. And then she gets the scene with the gun. I swear I ascended. It was so incredible. She just like put the gun together, loaded the bullet, and fucking killed Micah. And I was like, what? We still have 200 pages left. So she kills Micah. I'm freaking out, and then everybody else is freaking out in the summit, and then Hunt, like, gets his powers back because Hypaxia is like, I got you, boo, kill her, and he just, like, rips Sandriel's head off? What? And then we come to find out that literally it's Avengers. I couldn't handle it. I was freaking out. Like, the scene when Bryce is running on the live feed and Hypaxia is like, I'd rather be like her than sitting here doing nothing. I love Bryce. I really liked her a lot in the beginning of the book. She was wonderful. Like, I had no issues with her. But the transformation of her going from, like, party girl to this badass fucking bitch who has guns and a sword, who is running through this demon-infested Avengers obstacle course, just, like, killing, and I was really going through it last night. It was a lot to take in. So that was crazy. And then we have, like, she makes up with Ethan on the battlefield. That was a lot emotional. She saved Connor's brother. I wanted to cry. And then Hunt comes in and basically almost dies. And she's like, cool. So, like, how do I solve everything? Oh, by the way, I have a star. And she, like, comes in with her magical power that I totally saw coming. You'll see it in the vlog. But, like, the way, oh my god, literally the scene with the drop, poetic cinema. One of the best things I've ever read. I almost cried, lost my shit. Literally, that whole thing, like, my favorite part about Sarah J. Maas books, always. Like, the battles are great, the romance is amazing, I get it. But, like, I read her stories because she always comes back with a huge punch of, like, so here's the underlying theme that you weren't thinking about. It's actually about grief. It's actually about fighting your inner darkness. It's actually about being 25 and being afraid of dying. Didn't like that. Didn't like it at all. Like, literally, I've been going through a huge quarter-life crisis because I turned 25 in 2 months. And she just comes at me with that whole, like, that's the whole point, Bryce. To live. Live your life. It's not gonna last forever. Nobody lives forever, but live your life, Bryce. It's fun. What the fuck? I didn't ask for this. I did not ask for this. Oh my god. When she's coming to the ascent for the drop and everyone's like, she's not gonna make it, she's gonna die down there, she's already dead, like, whatever. And then Danica's like, bitch, I'm gonna get you up there because I'm your best friend. Like, yeah. And so then obviously it gets wrapped up in like a cute bow and like it's a happy ending and like they get magically like absolved by the Asterin, the big angels who are not angels, who are angels. I don't remember. They're gods or something. It was just such a crazy ending. And then on top of it, you read the fucking epilogue and I am even more confused because then you get, okay, so I don't know what the guy's name is. It's that prince from hell and his name looks like Adidas. So I call him Adidas. That's not his name. It's like Adis or something. But I call him Adidas. Adidas and Jezebel know each other, have worked together. She runs the library and he knows things and I don't know what they're talking about. And it kind of reminded me of The Starless Sea. If you've read that, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. But it really felt reminiscent of that book. But I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. There's like multiple worlds happening. I just like truly... I don't know, you know? The good news is, at the end of the day, Bryce and Hunt are happy as clams. Ish. Oh my God, when Hunt looked down and his tattoo said he was free, I haven't talked about Hunt enough. I'm gonna talk about Hunt. Listen. So I'm predictable as hell, we know this. It's really hilarious to me that I like Sarah's books because I'm not really a sexual being. So that's never really a thing. I'm just very, very attracted to specific personality types, mainly the sad boys. And Hunt is that. He is a sad boy. And he's also really, really soft and sweet. He's like a weird mixture of like Cassian and Reese, but also like if Cassian, Reese, and Azriel were one person, I feel like that's Hunt. He is all of that in one. And that is beautiful. I really just adore him so much. And I really loved seeing his arc and seeing him like fall in love with Bryce and realize that life is worth living and like, and I really hope she does not take him away from me in the next book. That's it. I don't want her to pull another Tamlin on me. I really would like that to stop. I'm curious to see how much she can do about like social commentary, because what I liked about this world is like the whole point of it is it's like the lower castes are rebelling against like the republic that are governing over everything and kind of like not allowing for any change in the hierarchy. And like if you're a half-breed, like that sucks. You can't really have any rights. There's slaves everywhere. And so like the whole point is Bryce and Hunt are kind of fighting against that narrative. And it's like, that's obviously something that is very relevant today. Like there are still slaves, there's still all kinds of discrimination and stuff. So like to see that commentary in a fantasy world, I am always super excited to see that. And I'm very curious to see where the story goes in the next round, because I think she set a lot of groundwork and she did make a lot of commentary in this one, but like the potential for the next one is also really great. And I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. That's what's happening. The last little section here is kind of about theories. I don't really have a lot of theories. This isn't even a theory because I know it's not possible and it's not going to happen, but like in my cute little brain, I just like thinking about the multiverse. And this is going to get spoilery if you have not read through Kingdom of Ash and if you have not read through, I guess, Akafas. I don't really know if that one's as relevant, but like if you haven't read literally all of her other books, I'd recommend skip out, go do that, come back, because we're talking about the multiverse, and I am passionate about the multiverse. If you hail from the Marvel fandom, if you have seen Infinity War and Endgame, and a little bit of Spider-Man Far From Home, you kind of know what I'm talking about with the multiverse. A multiverse is where multiple universes are the same universe, if that makes sense. I'm sure you know this, I'm just being dramatic. So Sarah has actually confirmed that her books are a multiverse. It isn't relevant enough to like turn it into like a full theory, because I don't think she's going to go in this direction. But I think it's important to point out because she has confirmed it and it is relevant, and I keep thinking about it and I can't shut up. If you've read through Kingdom of Ash, right? Obviously. So at the end of Kingdom of Ash, Aelin goes to this place where there are lots of doorways to go to many different worlds. And obviously, at the very end, she falls through a bunch of them and she sees them in passing. She does pass through Reese and Feyre's land. They see each other. It's a great moment. We all cried. And then there's also one line where it says she flew through a place where there's like a city that is built on like a river or a curve or something. I don't remember. Which I knew at the time was Crescent City, but now it's like 100% confirmed because we have the map of Crescent City, so it makes sense. Which means Aelin fell through Crescent City, which means they're all connected. Obviously, at the end of Kingdom of Ash, the doorways are closed. So technically, Aelin's little place is closed off from the other portals. I don't believe it for a second. I think you could fix anything that you want to in a fantasy world. But there's so much to think about when it comes to a multiverse, because if they're all in the same universe, and obviously in Crescent City, there's like so many different moments where various characters make commentary on like, oh, like obviously there's like other dimensions, other portals, there's hell, there's other planets, whatever. I think it is Adis, is that his real name? I don't remember. Prince of Hell, makes some kind of comment that he's like, oh yeah, there's just like so many different universes out there, like blah, 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 whatever. Passing comment. But think about it. I just think it would be brilliant. I spent like half of the book thinking about how much fun I would have if we could just get, it doesn't even have to be a series. It could be a book, just one book where they all come together and fight against some multiverse threat, like Endgame. But then, oh my God, the thing I forgot. So I was literally, obviously I was going through it last night, reading through this end. It's a lot to take in. But there was one line, one phrase that literally I wanted to jump off a bridge. She's looking through books in the library, going through them by name, trying to find one that's going to help her. She literally passes over the Book of Breathings. Do y'all understand? Do you understand the significance? Like the Book of Breathings, it may not even be the same one. The Book of Breathings is very important to the ACOTAR universe, and it is something that is held at one point, I think by Feyre. She looks for it. Is that the one they find in the water in the Summer Court? I don't remember. But the Book of Breathings is important. And we know that this one, we don't know when the timeline is. We don't know when any of this happens. If Aelin fell through, though, and she fell through Rhys and Feyre, that means it could have been happening about the same time, which means there's either more than one Book of Breathings, or the Book of Breathings moves from different universes, or there's a creature that connects the two of them that took the Book of Breathings from one to the other. The thing is, here's the thing. The thing is, the fuck of it all, when you're an author, obviously you have to go through a lot of different edits to make things, like, perfect. This is an 800-page book. In order for it to stay in the book, like, it has to be pretty important to Sarah or to the story or whatever. So, like, the fact that she did not have to put those names into this book. Like, she didn't have to put book names. She could have just put random books. She also didn't have to put the Book of Breathing. She could have put literally anything. And she doesn't have to talk about, like, demon princes from hell, like, various things like that I'm like, it's too smart. It's too convenient. She just knows too much. There is no reason she would put this information in here if she didn't have a bigger plan. And I really think it would just really make everything better. She would make so much money. It would be so smart. It would be the most unique thing to happen in literature in this century, if she just like connected her books like that, because like there's Cassandra Clare who connects her books, but it's like the same universe, the same people, the same characters. Like that's really cool, and I love that. To connect it to multiple different worlds hasn't really been done before, at least in the books that I've read in YA and stuff. Like just the concept of having that, like to create an empire that she has been building for literally years. Like imagine for me for a second, in a fantasy crazy world, Sarah J Maas has come up with these characters and she loves Throne of Glass, and then she decides, you know what, like I'm gonna make some similar characters in a different like parallel world. Interesting. I have another series that I kind of want to write. Ooh, I can make it in a third world, connect all of them. Interesting. What if I made more and then I connected all of them like Marvel? She likes Marvel. There's too many pieces adding up, guys. There's too many pieces. I know it's a conspiracy theory, but conspiracy theory, the Sarah J Maas multiverse is coming, and I'm gonna cry. I know that's not actually gonna happen. I just was really shook when the Book of Breathing showed up, and I don't know what to do with myself now. I'm not really sure when the next book comes out. I think it's probably gonna be 2022. Oh my God, I'm gonna be so old. Clearly I enjoyed this book. Clearly I can talk about it all day. So if you have things you want to discuss, the multiverse theory maybe, please comment down below. I would love to chat with you all the time. And if you don't like Sarah J Maas, fuck off. I don't give a shit. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are so great. I love you so much. So excited to be back in the swing of things, making content in a new space. Look forward to all the new videos, and I will talk to you guys soon.